No. Can you hear me now? Y'all are too much. I can see the chat, Meg, by the way. Apologies. Like I said, first time being on this end of things, so I am figuring out as we go along. But can everybody hear me now? Yeah, sweet. All right, awesome. I didn't realize that y'all couldn't hear me because the chat is still very small. So we're gonna rewind. We're gonna kick it back a little bit. Welcome in everybody. I'm Michael Ray Williams, and we're doing our first episode of Level Up. And I'm gonna be making a map using this beautiful program that you see over here. Uh, well, yeah. Um, Called Wonderdraft, and I have, you can't really see it, but you can see the edge of it. I have a drawing monitor here. I will figure it out faster. I will. This is fun. Um, do gooder. All right, Owen. That's enough out of you. Yeah, so we're starting this game next week with Tabletop Turntable. James Downey, who is hanging out in the chat right now, is going to be leading us into this endeavor. Thanks, Owen. I appreciate you. Uh, I'm not going to go too far into what the Quiet Year is because I don't want to steal any of his thunder. But it is basically a group world building game. And the group that is playing, we have been chatting in on Discord, and we've kind of established the first couple of parameters for our world, and we're going to build this map and see how it goes. This is also an opportunity to showcase Wonderdraft. My whole point with wanting to do these level up shows is because there are a lot of people in the TTRPG community who don't know, you know, they're starting out. They don't have a litany of tools at their disposal, and level up is kind of an opportunity for me and for us, for people involved with Grimstone, to get out and put some of the tools that we like to use for our prep, for our session prep, and for just making our games, uh, to showcase them a little bit. And this week, and probably for a minute because I'm working on a bunch of maps for games. It's going to be Wonderdraft, and Wonderdraft is great. Um, so I'm going to kind of babble through the settings here. Oh, okay. Front load the best stuff. All right. Well, first off, you have all kinds of like presets for the map backgrounds. Um, and bearing in mind that what's on there currently is just water texture. I don't know why that's there, but hey, well, we're gonna go with this imagination template because I like it, and I think it will be the best for what up, Michelle? For going forward with our game starting next week. Uh, and basically, here's what you do: you come over here to this brush tool, crank it up, and now the map is covered in land. This is the land. We're going to tweak this land texture too. This is the land. Now it just kind of looks like a blank parchment, right? Interesting. Interesting. Paper vintage one. Ooh, I like that. Let's go with the feudal. It's nice and bright. In our discussions about like what this the terrain that our game is going to be starting in, we have decided on some features, and the first feature that we're going to try to play with here is that this settlement, town, village, whatever you want to call it, place in which this game is starting next week, is in an underground cavern. Now, this program is really cool for these kind of world maps. It's a little trickier for us other things, but I've been like fiddling around with some of the tools, and I feel like I have a pretty good way to represent that this settlement is going to be underground. So we're coming over here to our paths tool, And when you select your brush tool over here, quill, you can come over and pick all of these different textures or these styles of paths. You can control how thick they are, how like zigzaggy they are, and what color they are. And just because I want it to show up nice and bright on this background, we're going to go with black just for the time being. All of this can be mended later and changed. I clicked outside the map area. There we go. So this settlement place is going to be underground, and what I'm thinking is we're basically just going to draw this circle. Oh my god, how do you make it connect? Well, that's irritating. Technical difficulties. Maybe it's because I have it turned down too low. Let's try that again. All right. Turn it up a little bit wider. I haven't had this program too terribly long, so I have been just kind of experimenting with it. Oh yeah, it's on there now. All right. So that is going to be the area in which we set up this village, this settlement, with whatever you want to call it. Tunnels, and there's going to be a lake and a geyser and mountains. Wonderdraft is neat. It has all of these presets these assets that you can add. You can purchase some of them. There are a lot of them that were also free that came with the program. What I liked about Wonderdraft over some of the other map making programs that are popular is that this isn't subscription based. I hate subscription based systems. Hey, thanks. Appreciate you. What I liked about Wonderdraft is it was a one-time purchase. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was maybe $30. And there are free assets and assets that you can purchase. But the purchasable assets, all like the prices on them were, I think I purchased a pack for maybe $6. So yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. I think that while it does have some limitations, I also use drawing programs. I use Krita, and that with my drawing monitor or my tablet. I can go in and I can edit in finer detail. The anything that I can't do with the map here on Wonderdraft, chances are I can do it over on Krita after exporting the map. Which we might do that. I might do one of these episodes of like finalizing and mastering a map, so to speak. Now, this village place is underground, which we have established. This section here is going to you can't see what the fuck I'm pointing at. Here's what I want to do. Is the other thing that you can do on the surface up here is you know how some maps, the way that they're styled, they'll have like countries or provinces or counties or whatever, they're different colors. So you can do like regions like that on here, and you can again, similar to the paths, you choose what kind of border style you're going for. You can look at the border width and you can select a color, and then ideally you come in and you draw a region. Now it's not perfect, but you can do that. Which I think is a cool concept in terms of like making, maps that are reflective of how we really make maps, which is something that either what I have found with a lot of map making programs is either they're really complicated or they don't do enough. And this one kind of, thanks, mate. Love you. We got to chat soon and get you on the schedule. Okay? Have your people call my people. I lost train of thought. But anyway, this underground settlement up here is going to be, I wonder if I can oh, I can. I can totally just change the colors. Sweet. So that's what I'm going to do. One of the early ideas that was kicked around too was that that there was this cave system was going to be in kind of some grasslands. So I'm going to color the surface up here around, I think I can do like a hard line. Yeah. And then I'll do a fade because there's going to be some mountains nearby too. And then we'll do, this is neat because it gives you just kind of this splotchy textured sort of brush. Playing around with Krita, which if you're not familiar, Krita is a super cool community sourced and community driven art program, and I've been playing with it a lot and I love it, but I think I'm a little spoiled because there's so many brushes there and you can do such specific things with them. And this one, while it's cool that it has these brush features, it's not exactly, you can't do a ton of stuff with it, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, I think we're going to do grass on all sides, and then we'll do the mountains on the other side. Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but a big old chunk got tore out of the top layer of my monitor, the screen. And every time I go past that spot, I forget it's there. My nib clacks against it, and it messes me. It freaks me out. Freaks me out. It's not really the right word, but you know what I mean. Sorry, the touch of the tism there. So yeah, there we go. You can also with the colors, you can do custom colors, which I think is really cool. You can add all kinds of variety to your maps. So yeah, we have this area over here that I think we're gonna do some mountains. So I'm gonna make this a little bit darker, I think. Now, James did advise that, and this is the rule per the advisement of the game, the Quiet Year, that your settlement should be a third of the map, which is roughly, right? Well, roughly a third of the map. Whatever. I can make it bigger if I need to. So, yeah. I hope that this is appropriate. See, traditionally, when playing the game that we're going to be playing, you would be doing this, everybody does this. Like everybody takes a turn drawing um, adding to the map. But digital landscape, our players are all spread out. And this is an atypical kind of thing. There's lots of actual plays, but I've never seen anybody do an actual play of the Quiet Year. I do know lots of people who play it, lots of people who've used it, but I thought it would be neat for there to be an actual play of it, and so that's why we're doing it. And that brings us here. So now one of our other players, Sean, he suggested that there was a lake nearby. So we're going to put a lake over here. And when you're doing these tools on the side here, so this one at the top, you can actually generate a map. You can control, you have all kinds of little options in the drop down for what kind of map you want to do: continent, archipelago, atoll, a world map, or equirectangular. Interesting. Equirectangular. I think that's like the map we have hanging in the bedroom. And it's pretty neat. I've played with it when I first downloaded it. That's just what I did, was I just to see the kind of variety that it would make, and it does do some pretty neat stuff. Be great for like one shots, or just jamming out a world map on the fly. I like to use maps in my artwork on my battle maps. Some layers there, and eventually I'll do a level up session where we explore Dungeon Alchemist, which is the battle map maker that I use, and it's amazing. But there's this really cool feature that it has where you can change painting images, like you can upload your own artwork, and I like put all kinds of like Easter eggs and hide things, because they're things that literally no one will ever see unless you like figure out a way to go into like first person view with a different virtual tabletop. But maps I like to do, especially putting them down, face down, or face up on surfaces. There's like parchment that you can change the artwork on. So being able to like jam out a detailed custom world map super quick, like that's great. I think that's awesome. This is the map that just brings up the land. This is a map the tool that erases the land. This like raises, kind of, you can control the brush size, make it really tiny, and then the roughness like is how like jagged the coastline is. So yeah. And then this is the same thing, just you could push it right back down. What I really like too about the aesthetic on this program is that how like the changes in the layers are for like depth, representing depth. So like looking at the map, it's a subtle change, but you have this, paler section in the middle here, which is deeper, counter to how you traditionally see maps. But then I can come over here in the these tools, and I can actually change the color of some stuff. You can tweak the outlines. It's a very subtle change, like I said. You can tweak the color gradient, which like freaked me out the first time I did it, because I thought something was wrong. That'd be cool for you can do the coastal effects distance there. See you later, homie. And then your landmass outline, you can also affect. Give you some idea of like depth and scale. And then the vignette is around. The coastline pattern detail is someone that you can just change. I really like the irregular blend. We're not don't have a ton of water on here yet, so it's just pretty subtle change. And this really boils down to just like aesthetic choices. Like what do you find most appealing? Like I think that looks pretty cool right now for this map. So we're gonna do that one for now. And then like this is your paint tool where you can paint the different sizes or the different sections of the map. And this will let you like lasso the things that you drop on the map to edit them more easily, which is cool. Thanks, Michelle. I'll see you at work. All right, so we have this underground section here. I feel like I want to change the color of of that section. What do we think? What do we think about that? I think we do. I think I'm going to turn my brush opacity down, and we're gonna. Is that too much? That's too much. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't ever tell until I like do the whole thing. Totally erases my path. Well, not completely. How do we feel about that? I don't know how I feel about that. It might be too dark. I think it's too dark. Let's do a slightly lighter. Nope, that's not light enough. Yeah, it's better. Like blend it out. Just trying to give some indication of depth. I think, even though it's not meant to be like literal. And I've seen maps that featured like underground sections, and I remember there being aesthetic differences. I used to like when I would go traveling with my grandfather a lot. He really liked caves and spelunking and stuff like that. And I remember looking at maps that featured underground sections because North Carolina, I don't even know this or not, has a wealth of cave systems. So yeah. All right. Now, what symbols do we want to play with to represent this underground place? Now, this should ideally I would be able to pick my other players' brains about this, but since we're doing the things this way, I can always change things. And sometimes the way these symbols neat. You get a preview. You can scale them. You can also choose what color you want them to be. Is there still music playing? There we go. Let's have a little bit there in the background because I'm going to get lost in the hyperfixation to a certain extent. Ooh, I like these. What are these? Dwarven structures? Cool. Let's scale you up. Neat. It's a blacksmith. Yeah, I dig it. Ooh. Now, what's really neat too is you can select these tools. You come over here and select the things you drop on the map, and you can actually move them behind and in front of certain things. which it's just you can do a some pretty cool like editing. Um, Including resizing, which took me forever to figure out how to actually do. Because one thing I will, one con to this program, I love it, but it's not a super intuitive in terms of the terminology it uses, just from a digital art standpoint. Um, but all things considered, price point, what you can do with it. Um, I think it's pretty great. All right. All right. So that's going to be the image that represents, I think, our little town. It's going to be under this underground, in the underground. I'm just playing now. Yeah. So I want that to be closer, right? But I can put it on top of the other stuff. Which is great. Things to be tight. Good and tight. Yeah. I think I like that. Yeah, I think I like that. All right, so now one of the other things that is a little bit of a limitation on here is some of the like symbols. Now, like I said, you can download more asset packs, and I should look, and I will probably do that. And one of the things that one of our other players wanted to add into the world is a geyser. Some kind of, so we're gonna have some geothermal activity going on, and I had an impulse that that would be near the lake, but I think because I want to do the mountain range on this like southeastern section of the map, we're gonna fiddle around with it over there. And I don't really have like a geyser. You know, that's not something that that's not something that is in any of my map packs. But we could come up with something that is reminiscent of a geyser. Let's put this little mountain here. Oh yeah. When you put like mountains, things that connect to the actual land, it will automatically shade them the color that you've painted that land, which is kind of neat. Um, oh, it's shaping all of that stuff. So let's grab you, put you on top. I haven't said anything to this effect yet, but if you have any questions, feel free to throw them up in the chat. I am happy to answer them. I bet you do, James. I bet you do. So you see, I have to like go in and change the color of the land around the around. Really, the other thing about this is the zooming is kind of stupid on here, but that's okay. That is okay. What do you think? Does that look geysery? I guess I should zoom in some. Does that look geysery to you all? I'm asking earnestly. Let's see. Oh, these are white. What the heck? What the heck? See, that's also a thing about this program that I don't love. It's not intuitive in terms of like using the tools. Like they're not. Never mind. I don't know how to say what I'm thinking because I've got poo brain. We're gonna lighten. Yeah. Lighten that up a little bit. All right. I think that looks like a great geyser. Thank you, Owen. Thank you. What else did we say we were going to put on this map? I already forgot. Zoom back out. 50%. The other thing, I wonder, can I use my... Kinda, but it still drops the symbols on there. That's weird. Alright. Pew, pew, pew. So, mountains. There are mountains that produce all these storms. So, what I want to do is we're going to scale these mountains up. And we're going to just kind of start peppering in some of these larger ones. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks, James. We'll call this one Old Steadfast. How's that? Old Resolute. I need to play with scaling more on here because I think I have it set to where I no. Oh, that's the why. That's why you have to set that in 2 places. And that's silly. Weird. This is another thing that this program gets a little twitchy with, is that sometimes the scaling, like some things you can scale and some things you can't, and that is not consistent. I don't understand why I can't scale these other mountains, but whatever, that's okay. I'll just drop a bunch of these. These remind me of Close Encounters. There's a Devil's Tower. One thing I will say, boo, I need to lock my toolbar next time. One thing that I will say about this program that I do like is it's very how do I phrase this? I know that some people get intimidated with the map making stuff and like I want to be artistic, and this map making it's pretty easy. Like you can make something that's pretty artistic really easily. You have to spend time with it. You have to learn to use it, but um, I think that it could potentially be really good for some of that. These don't really look like storm clouds, but eh. Now I can go in and I think I can find them and move them around. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Just to give us a little more variety. James, I have been thinking about my character. I saw that you posted that message in the chat earlier. I just I'm hesitant because I really want to see like what we come up with before I really like commit, because it's different and it's weird. Yeah, I'm sure that comes as a total shock. The other thing I wish you could do, and I think there is a way to do it, but it's you have to do it. I think no. Mm-hmm. I thought you could mirror the symbols, but I don't know. Maybe I imagined that, or maybe it was only some certain symbols. I really don't like. Oh, there we go. That's why. All right. What else did we say about this map? Let me check the chat. Or somebody who's hanging out from the group, tell me. Um, so hi JJ. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but there's a kitty boy over there. JJ. He's walking around the house with his penguin Marty. I told him. I know. He's just in there talking up a storm. He likes to walk around the house with his penguin in his mouth, meowing. Alright, so underground caverns, grasslands, craggy mountain peaks, volatile storms, lake. Crystals. I don't know if there's anything in here. You'd think there would be. Have I told the people what we're doing next week? Yeah, we're playing tabletop turntable, our premiere with The Quiet Year, which will then lead. I think we're doing 2 episodes of that, and then we're leading into a short D&D 5e campaign run by the incomparable James Downey. I'm actually really surprised that there aren't any like crystal designs, especially because I downloaded this like Fae pack that has all these crazy mushrooms. Nope. That's okay. We can find something that is an approximation of it, and I could also look for other assets. But because these are kind of jagged, we're gonna. There we go. We're gonna put some of these in here, and then what I'm gonna do is actually go and color the map under them to make them like blue and purple, so they can have like a crystal kind of look to them. Maybe that makes sense. I got to zoom in. I wonder if my zoom tool up here works. Yeah. And my grabber. Sweet. Okay. I think that works right nicely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even know it could do that. Learn something new all the time. So yeah, that's where you come in and just manually choose your color. So I'm gonna put some yellow here. Meow, meow, meow. 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 That's making just weird noises. That's just weird noises. Do like some blue. Why not? Bluish purple. And then I'm gonna do these like white for like quartz. Yeah. What do we think of that? Does that conjure up at least some ideas of gemstones or crystals? It's okay if it doesn't. We are at the limitation of this program, and like I said earlier, I could edit these. Oh, thanks, Katie. So I'm gonna add like some rocks around it, just because I like details and I like aesthetic choices, intentional choices, that sort of thing. And I know I have just like some rocks. There we go. There we go. So what we're gonna do is like maybe. Trust the process. Trust the process. Too big. Nope. Let's try again. And now we're going to zoom in again so I can tweak these stones a little better. Just get everything a little more uniform and a little more intentional in its placement. God, I gotta get used to that. I've been drawing on my drawing tablet so much that thanks. Yeah, I agree. I think that that is some of the designs are very much inspired by like feudal Japanese art. This one. I do like that my keyboard commands still work too. You can set shortcuts as well. The program allows for that for the more tech savvy, computer savvy individuals out there. All right, I think it's looking pretty good. I think I want to put a couple of those rocks around the base of the geyser. I don't know what it is about like weird little minute details, but I really it does it for me. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good, pretty solid. Am I missing anything from our first round? We have the underground lake again. Remembering that this whole grayed out section is underground. Got the lake, got a geyser, got our mountains up top. Am I missing anything? I am impressed also at just the number of assets that came preloaded in the program and the different styles that are represented. There's just all kinds of cool stuff. One of my favorite features is old school like monsters. Like that old style. There's not a dragon up there. I mean, there might be, but we don't know that there is yet. Can neither confirm nor deny the presence of any dragons. Forest Michael? What does that even mean, Sean? Well, I think just for my own sanity, I'm gonna save this map. Quiet here. Work in progress. An underground forest near the lake. Gotcha! Alright, I'm gonna shift. Can I? I'm just gonna shift everything over a little bit so I can put some trees around the lake. Yeah. I might expand. Yeah, I think I'm gonna expand. I'm just gonna delete this path because I don't really need it with the region paint, whatever. So we're gonna come in and bump up our brush up. Whoa, too big. Just give me a little bit more space to work with. Trust the process. He's telling himself. Now, since this map features so much color, I think we are going to want our trees to have a natural color. And again, we don't know what the heck a natural color is, and even in this world, but yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're going to do some trees over here. You have a lot of different styles too, which are neat. And I love that the brushes they're randomized, so you don't get exactly the same tree. Just a cool function. Can't tell what the fuck that is. Still can't tell what that is. It's better. Whoa, giant. I mean, you're right. Trees can be whatever color we want. I don't want it to be too close to the other game that we're going to be getting rolling before too much longer, if you catch my drift. In terms of the weirdness, but who the fuck am I to hoard all the weirdness on our channel? Get weird with it. I'm here for it. So we're going to do this, and then take our brush tool. Go with this deep green. For some of these. And then bright green for others. And screw it, some of them will be blue. Literally like making my brush head as small as I can to try to avoid spill. Right. Let's make some of them purple. Guess I need to zoom in more. That zoom tool is no joke. Yeah, blue and purple. There's some green. Then again, if they're underground, they probably would not be natural colors. So we're going to go with shades of blue and purple. See, I should be able to change the color of the objects this way. If anybody from Wonderdraft, from the fine developers over at Wonderdraft, happened upon this, let me change the object color or the symbol colors by selecting them and hitting my color wheel. That would be fantastic. Fantastic. It might be easier to just do a baseline color. Oh, I love this. And then go in and tweak it. Add, yeah. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Using the opacity and the splotchy brush like gives me some pretty good variance too in the way the colors modeled up. Dig it. I was about to be mad. Whoa! See, that zoom is crazy. What do you think of your underground forest, Sean? Beautimus. Cool. Now I know that the way that this game works is, we draw cards and that's how we kind of fill the world. But I'm very excited to get to that and add more stuff. Hopefully I have enough room on here. I'm just adding a little bit stronger line on this edge to really like try to sell that it's underground, I guess. I don't know. Oh, you're good, Sean. Thank you. I appreciate that clarification over here. I'm chatting with our group while doing this because I just am incapable lately of focusing on just one thing. That's cool. Nope, gotta zoom in again. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Let's come back up here. Just because, again, the devil's in the details. Thanks for hanging out, Owen. I appreciate you. Come hang out next week because I promise it'll be a little more interesting than this. And, let's chat soon because I miss you. Love you, brother. Be good or be good at it. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. To be frank. Yeah. I think that's a good spot. We just came in at an hour, and the map is I think right where it needs to be per our setup for next week. James, am I missing anything? I feel pretty good about this. This program is a lot of fun. I really am struggling to not try to use it like this drawing monitor, like oh my god, I'm still doing it as I'm explaining that I'm doing it. This is just me finessing now because that's what I like to do. So next time on Level Up, I will likely be working on a world map. It'll either be a world map for a new campaign setting or a battle map for a new campaign setting. So yeah, I think that's it for me for tonight. I think an hour is good for this kind of thing. First broadcast. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate you. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. And be sure to come back next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for our premiere of Turntable or Tabletop Turntable. Oh man, I mean, we came up with the name and I struggle with it. Tabletop Turntable next week. We're going to be premiering with The Quiet Year, led by our very own James Downey. We have a bunch of just fun stuff planned for this channel, so I hope you'll hang out with us for the long haul. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you all next time, and remember, never stop playing. Good night.